Hello everyone! Welcome to Use the Wings engine. This tutorial will introduces how to plan the sub-large screen structure in the project and how to configure the style of the large screen. If the project is relatively simple, we don't need to consider the structure. But most projects may include multiple sub-large screen pages. These pages are usually organized in a tree structure, reflecting complex business logic. Each page is further divided into multiple subsections and then associated with the main elements. According to the general project implementation process, we will first design the layout and then use Wings engine to make the implementation draft. Before making the implementation draft, we need to plan the structure of the entire project first. Then we pick out the shared elements between the subscreens. Let's open an example project. This project includes 3 pages: the home page, sub-dashboard 1, and sub-dashboard 2. Let's play the demo in full screen. Click button 1. Switch to the first board. Click button 2. Switch to sub-dashboard 2. Click the Home button. Switch back to the home page. In this project, the title button and the map element in the middle are the same. These are the shared elements we mentioned earlier. Moving them into the background board. Not only reduces the number of dashboard components and improves performance, but also prevents repetitive work. It only needs to be set once. Let's take a look at the settings of the subboard. Click the Default State button on the right, where you can add new states and switch states. About state switching, we will introduce in a separate tutorial. We will introduce in detail. Other settings include styles, interactions, data, and code. The first is Style settings. Style refers to some display effects of the board. In the basic settings, we can set the size of the board, size, display mode, and fill color. If you need to automatically rotate the subboard display, we need to turn on the carousel switch. Turn on the carousel switch in the Settings item. Then set the animation type Animation, duration, and page stay time. Because this subboard page uses the contents of the background board, so the current background is turned off. If the current background is turned on, it will cover the contents of the background board. In many templates on our official website, you may have seen some cool animations. These are actually set in the background of the board. Set a dynamic video or image. The background music can be set here. It will play automatically when the board is opened. There is one thing to note about this. If you open it in a third-party browser and open the board through a link, due to browser restrictions. The music may not play automatically. You need to turn it on manually. Finally, there is the cover settings, where you can set the preview image of the project. Support uploading local images, or directly take a screenshot of the current project. Click the right button to delete the added cover. Then there is the interaction settings. About interaction, we will introduce in a separate tutorials to introduce in detail. Next is the data settings. The dashboard itself does not require data associations. The data linkage here is mainly used for secondary development. The data filtering here is for dynamic data fields, which is for a certain to generate a data field for a settings item, and then control the settings item through the data field. After generating, we can set data filtering here. For example, here we generate a dynamic data field. You can see that a dynamic data field has been added. About the dynamic data field, we will also introduce it in a separate tutorial. The data condition field here is used to interact with other components. It will also be explained in the subsequent tutorials. Finally, the code. Here is where you can set the secondary development code. After clicking Add, you can select the code file. Regarding secondary development, we have a separate series of tutorials where you can check it out. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you next time.